Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well today. I just wanted to come on here and share just a short overview of Matthew chapters 11 and 12. And wow, chapter 11, Jesus is going about and teaching again. And we get this scenario where the disciples of John the Baptist, are sent by John the Baptist to Jesus and ask the question, are you the one that we were expecting? Are you the Messiah that was promised to us? And Jesus gives an interesting answer. I'm not going to give it to you. I hope you can read this chapter and see for yourself the response that Jesus is giving. What does Jesus say about himself? What is his role? Does he confirm who he is in terms of what people are expecting, or is he confirming something different? Perhaps something that the people of Israel had not considered. And as we move on, Jesus continues his teachings. And towards the end of chapter 11, we learn about this passage of rest. But as much as we hear about rest, coming to Jesus and finding rest in him, let's think bigger picture. Jesus is talking about who God is. And Jesus is inviting us to get to know God through him. Jesus is literally saying, you get to know the Father through me. So come with me, journey with me. Chapter 12, it starts with a very chaotic situation where the Pharisees come to confront Jesus about Sabbath keeping and some things that Jesus' disciples are doing, and they're questioning Jesus. And Jesus turns it back on the Pharisees and asks them a question that it may have affected the Pharisees in some way. And then Jesus does a miracle on the Sabbath as well. So I want you to read about that and how Jesus responds to that. Jesus continues to teach, and as Jesus is facing accusation by the Pharisees and some of the other Israelites, Jesus responds back, but he doesn't respond back in such a defensive way, but he does in such an interesting way. And so I want you to focus on that. What does it say about the character of Jesus and how he responds back to accusations, to people trying to get in the way of the work of his calling, of his mission? And lastly, the chapter ends when Jesus' actual mother and siblings show up, and Jesus says something interesting. And I want you to reflect on this. What does Jesus mean for us to become his family? What does that look like? And what is that experience like? And I hope this can be a blessing to you.